A common question in the face of suffering is, why me? And you've asked it, haven't you? I mean, the truth is that no one is immune to suffering. And what I am trying to learn is that what I do with my suffering will either make me or break me. So maybe the bigger question is, does suffering serve a good purpose? I think it can. I think if you're open to it, suffering opens the door to explore meaning. I mean, the fact that we ask the question, why me, indicates that we are aware that something is wrong. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And it is this awareness that will lead us to seeking a solution to suffering. If you had no pain nerves, you would never address the wounds that, if left unattended, would kill you. In 2 Corinthians 12, Paul, reflecting on his own suffering, says, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. But I'm also learning that suffering opens the door to empathy. In 1 Peter 3:8, it says, finally, all of you be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. And when we experience suffering, it equips us to be compassionate when others suffer. My dad used to always say, learn to walk a mile in another person's shoes before you judge them. Suffering does actually bring us together. It reminds us that we need each other and that we're not alone. We have this shared experience, and I think that's the power of Jesus coming and suffering as we suffer. And then finally, suffering, if we allow it, can open the door to God's comfort. It's like when you're a child and you got hurt, you ran into your mother's arms, and there was something so comforting and inviting in that embrace. It was a reminder that in a harsh world, there was someone who was fighting for you. Hebrews 4:15-16 reminds us, for we do not have a high priest, speaking of Jesus, who is unable to empathize with our weakness, but who is one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet did not sin. Therefore, let us approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Maybe that's why one of the names given to the Holy Spirit is Comforter. And that word isn't like a warm blanket on a cold day like we think of comfort. It means literally to have courage even in the face of suffering. So I'm learning. When I ask, why not me, it means that, yes, it's true that suffering is inevitable, but it can, if I allow it, open the door to meaning, empathy, and God's comfort. In John 16:33, Jesus said, I've told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And that is a stepping stone to being who God has called you to be.